Hey, sixth graders, today we're looking at 3-3, which is writing and evaluating numerical expressions. Now, we're going to be talking about a variety of expressions and equations this next week, but today our focus is simply numerical expressions. Numerical expressions have two things. They have numbers and they have operations. Now, with this, our numbers that we'll be seeing, we're going to be seeing whole numbers, we're going to be seeing decimals, we're going to be seeing fractions. We're going to be seeing a wide variety of different types of numbers. In our operations, we're going to be having some multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting. So all of those ones together. Later, as we get going this week, we're going to be talking about algebraic expressions, where we're going to be throwing in variables and different letters for different numbers. But today our focus is just numerical expressions, dealing with our numbers and our operations. Now, the big part of today's lesson is looking at our order of operations. Now, order of operations is stuff that you've done before. It might look a little bit different for today just because we're kind of taking that next step and covering some stuff for sixth grade. So for our order of operations, what we're going to keep in mind is this is telling us what we have to do first, what we have to do next, and so on. When it comes to these numerical expressions, we can't simply just plug the whole thing in our calculator and assume to get that right answer. Instead, there is an order that we must follow. We must do specific things first to be able to get that correct answer. Now, for our order of operations, one way to think of it, a lot of times people use these 6 letters. Now, I simply say PEMDAS when I do it. That's a way that I can remember. Some people have different ways to remember, like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Whatever works best for you to remember that this is going to be our order when we are doing our operations. The first one is our P, okay, parentheses. Now, you also might see what's called brackets. So here we have our parentheses, but you also might see these squared off ones. These are called brackets. Now, brackets are used when there's going to be more than one set of parentheses. So you may have parentheses on the inside and a pair of brackets on the outside. For parentheses and brackets, you're going to start in and work your way out of the problem. Next up is our exponents. We worked on exponents earlier last week. Remember, for our exponents, that's when we have our squared here. So if we have 3 to the third power, it means 3 times 3 times 3, not 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So keep that in mind with your exponents. The next set of our order of operations is looking at multiplication and division. You guys, multiplication and division are going to be together, okay? So we don't go all multiplication and then all division. Instead, we look at multiplication and division together as a set and work from left to right as we're reading that problem. So in our problem, if there's a division problem and then multiplication, we're going to be doing that division one first as we work left to right. And then addition and subtraction is our last thing. Notice, you guys, that's the same. We pair addition and subtraction together here. They're grouped together. And we're going to work from left to right to solve. So PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. However it is that you're going to be remembering that that is our order of operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. Now we're going to go over some examples here today. Now the nice thing about this one, you guys, like I said, we're throwing in decimals, we're throwing in fractions. You may use a calculator on this. That's just fine. But just to help you figure out, what a multiplication or division problem is, I need you guys to think logically on this. So you're not just going to plug this in your calculator, because we do have to follow that order of operations. So here's our first one. We're going to do 8 plus 2 plus 5.3. Sorry about the Van Hitter in here, guys. In parentheses, and then divide it by 5. When we do these problems, we are going step by step following the order of operations. First thing that we need to do is we need to take care of our parentheses. So I'm going to do my 8.2 plus 5.3, which is 13.5. Now, different ways to write this. Now, I like rewriting my problem here because that is my new problem. Now, other people, if it helps to, maybe cross this off and just have that below, that's fine too. But make sure that once you complete an operation, once you do something, that you either cross it off or rewrite so that you don't think that you need to do that one again. So now we have 13.5 divided by 5. So we can do our division. Our answer is 2.7. So following our order of operations, parentheses first, then our division. All right, let's take a look at a little bit harder one. Let's go 1.25 times 4 plus 3 times 2 divided by 1/2. Now you guys, in this case, they're putting a parentheses around this 1/2 to simply show that that is going to be to the third power. So occasionally you're going to be seeing something that they'll put parentheses around, but just to show what exactly it is. You might see it for negative numbers as well. If we look at this problem, our first thing that we need to take care of is our 1/2 to the third power. So it's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, which is going to be the same thing as 1/8. Now, I'm going to cross that off now because I know that that's going to be taken care of. Now, in this problem, now I have 1.25 times 4 plus 3 times 2 divided by 1/8. So in this problem, our next thing we need to do is our multiplication and division. But I'm going to be working from my left to my right to solve this. So my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my 1.25 times 4, which is equal to 5. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do my 3 times 2, which is 6. But then I'm going to divide that by 1/8. If I do 6 divided by 1/8, I get 48. Now, our last thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing our adding. Now, you guys, we did this problem and we got 5. We did this whole part and we got 48. But we need to make sure that we have our addition sign now. So now we have our 5 plus 48, which is going to be equal to 53. Whatever organization works best for you. I see other people that if we're looking at this problem, they might simply do, they might write their, their 1/8. Maybe here they're going to just put that that's going to equal 5. Okay, whatever works best for you as 6th grade now, we'll show you guys these different options, but you really need to find what works best for you when you're solving these problems. So remembering our PEMDAS, parentheses and brackets, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. Now, one part of your assignment is going to be taking a look at trying to figure out where parentheses will go so that your answer is going to be true. So I'm going to put this one right here. So I'm going to put 32 divided by 2 to the third power minus 4. Now in these problems, the directions are going to say to add parentheses to make it true, and they're going to give you what's called a target value. No, not like Target, like going shopping. They're going to say your target value is 8. We want to get this so that it's going to be equal to 8. Now, if I was just to solve this as is, I have my exponents, so 2 to the third, so 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be 8. If I was to just work here, my next thing would be my division, so 32 divided by 8, which is 4. 4 minus 4 does not equal 8. So we need to think about where we can put parentheses in this problem so that the answer will equal 8. Now, if we did that 32 divided by 8 first, now remember, because we already did our 2 to the third, it's going to equal 4. We need to do some thinking. Where else could our parentheses go? We could try them here first. We could do our 8 minus 4, which is 4, and then 32 divided by 4, which would equal 8. So in this problem, our parentheses are going to go right here so that our target value is correct, that we are going to get to that 8. On these ones, they'll tell you if it's going to be one set of parentheses or 2 sets of parentheses, but all you're going to be doing is putting in parentheses so that it is going to be equal. Now, I think the best bet here is for you to give these ones a try and get going with that assignment. Remember, PEMDAS. All right. Now, multiplication, division together, addition, subtraction together. We have our parentheses, and we have our exponents. So keeping that in mind as you're going through your problems. Your assignment today is from the practice book. We're doing practice book 140 to 141, and we're going to do numbers 5 through 23. Once again, practice book 140, 141, and we're going to do numbers 5 through 23. See you later.